of Cape Coast. Prof, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you.
The government is already implementing the DDP. The net is being widened now. It's ESLA and Dachi bonds to be targeted. But the one that is curious is that the pensioners who have had a letter written to them exempting them are being mentioned in there. I just spoke to the convener who thinks it may be a mistake. Do you think it's a mistake, or government is simply cash-strapped and looking for all avenues, including going back and recanting on its own promise or words in the past?
Well, I think the entire debt exchange program was meant to have bring some respite to the balance sheet of government. But as it is now, the DDEP will not help government achieve such deeper financial benefits. So the government is looking out for more people, more bondholders to come to an agreement with it in order to see if it can deepen the balance sheet of government. That is one aspect. The second aspect is that during the first debt exchange program, it was very clear that it was voluntary, and those who want to take part should take part, and those who don't take part have no recourse to government. Government was obliged to pay them. So if there's any call for people to surrender for Dachi and for ESLA PLC, it should not include those who have already indicated that they would not be part. Nobody can be compelled to go into a debt exchange program. But one also has to see the environment for debt exchange program. The environment has changed. People have understood clearly that it affects the bondholders, and it's the bondholders who have to take decisions whether to be part of it or not. And therefore, government is now widening its net to see whether more people can come on board. And I do not think that the usual support that is given to bondholders across board will be given this time. So that is the advantage the government is there trying to take.
So the government is just giving an open invitation and hoping. It's actually a hope. It's not necessarily as if people are going to be forced on the program.
Yes, the debt exchange program remains a voluntary offer. So if people refuse to be part of it, they have not offended any law. And that does not mean that the government is not indebted to them. Government is obliged to pay them. So those conditions remain. But the point I'm making is that over the period, government has had an engagement with pensioners, pension funds, for example, which have largely agreed that was over. So government feels that the little that is left, they can come on board. And people have made it very clear that it is only bondholders who have the duty to accept or not to accept.
All right. Wait to see now. The bondholders, the pensioner bondholders, are saying, in fact, because of the letter that has been given them, they are being perpetually exempted, and they are actually even surprised to be seeing that they are even in the category at all. We wait to see how government is going to react to that. However, before I let you go, the big story we've been discussing tonight has to do with the central bank. The boss there's a demand for him to resign by the minority side. The Minister of Finance today wrote an article in which article he defended the central bank governor. He defended him on the measures he's taken so far in addressing fiscal challenges. He also talks about the central bank's headquarters, the new BoG headquarters and defenses, and says it should be let to go. And the attacks on the BoG boss, he uses the word needless. You have been studying the economy. Would you defend the finance minister of his defense of the BoG boss?
Oh, no, I wouldn't defend the finance minister. Of course, it is at his instance that the governor of the Bank of Ghana did what he did. So it's only proper that the government, through finance minister, comes to support the governor. That is understandable. But on the other hand, it's making foolish the whole issue in the eye of the public. I believe it is a show of impunity, it's a show of power, it's a show of disregard to the sentiment of the people. I do not think that that is how he is supposed to address the issue. All the issues that he has articulated, they are issues that the governor has raised and that did not find favor with the public. So for him to come to reclassify those items in support of the governor, a show of a sort of disdain to the people of Ghana. And that is worrisome.
Thank you for speaking to us, sir.
Thank you.
That's Professor John Gachi. He's an economist. This is Eyewitness News on 97.